You all know I love Brazil because I live there, so I had to have something from one of my favorite places in the world, and also because I feel like my soul is Brazilian. These are a few of my favorite things. Chocolate, caffeine, avocados, fresh flowers, naps, gemstones, jewelry that people give me. I know what this is. All right, guys, so there is a room and it's just filled. There's a big old long table, and this room has literally boxes and boxes of specimens. So sometimes Elizabeth will be back in this room and I'll need to go find her and ask her about something. Every single time, no matter what, I always end up pulling things out of boxes and she probably drives her nuts. And I'm asking, what's this? What's this? This is pretty. I like that color. So today is Natalie's picks. And basically what I did, I just sat on the floor and I opened up a couple drawers and I said, all right, I want to talk about this, this, and this. And this time I only picked stuff based on the bright colors. It was kind of a dreary day when I was back in the back room. I picked some really bright pieces that we're going to talk about today. So they have a cool structure, or they're really beautiful, or they're, bright pink. Basically 3 of these are bright pink. So these 4 right here were not only the ones that drew me visually, but they also were pretty cool. They were from Brazil, or they were, had a cool story. So we are gonna just do a run through of my picks today and why. And I want you to maybe send me your picks in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and also ring that bell so you don't miss out on what we've got coming up in the future. You ready? Let's do this. All right, right here we have erythrite, which not only is the color super cool, it's actually really rare. It is CO3 times ASO4 2 with 8 molecules of H2O. This is actually a super rare mineral. It gets its color from its cobalt content. But what's also interesting is the AS is arsenic. So I'm gonna need to wash my hands after this. Man, I'm living on the edge today. I'm playing with arsenic. Erythrite is known for bright colors, so kind of these purplish pinks, hot pink, light pink. Some specimens may exhibit a bluish hue, and as I mentioned, that is all we can thank cobalt from that. Super rare. You can find it in 2 places in the United States. I believe that's Pennsylvania and Idaho. Fun fact about this piece, it's from Morocco, which is super cool because some of the largest specimens of erythrite were actually found in Morocco. Probably not a piece you're ever gonna find in jewelry, not only because it's so rare, but also because it's only about a 1.5 to a 2.5 on the Mohs. And as you all know from being gem nerds like me and watching this channel, that's pretty low. And that's kind of why I was attracted to this piece originally. Not only is the color really bright, I haven't seen a whole lot of pinks that hue, but also because it's rare. All right, so this piece right here, this is AGATIZED fossil coral from Tampa Bay, Florida. And I think it's really cool if you look on the outside. I mean, it looks like coral. But when you flip it around to the inside, you're gonna see bands of white and blue, and then you look inside and there's kind of that grayish blue. That look right there, that's druzy. It's when you have kind of the rough crystal. They actually make rings out of that druzy that they'll have that rough crystal on the top of the ring, and they're absolutely beautiful. So I was really initially attracted to the color, but what's also cool is if you put these together, I mean, could you imagine finding this whole and then chopping it in half, and you get this beautiful, unique design in the inside? I just fell in love with this. I love coral. If you want to learn more about coral, we'll pop up a link to past videos that we've done. I think it's really cool because the coral I think that we've had on the show mostly has been in kind of the red, orange and pink family, but you have this piece right here, which is actually replaced with chalcedony. For those of you in Florida and Georgia, that is two of the most important sources for this material. So other fossils can actually be agatized, and that's basically when agate replaces the fossil, but the color could range. I've heard of it being in brown, white, you have the blue, but I think this is so cool. Not only does Mother Nature produce the coral, which we've talked about before. And we've seen some pretty cool agate on this channel, but then you put them together and you get a really interesting piece like this. Right here, this is rose quartz from Brazil. You all know I love Brazil because I live there. So I had to have something from one of my favorite places in the world. And also because I feel like my soul is Brazilian. I thought it was really neat how parts of this had more color than others. So right down here, there was this almost color concentration. Usually with rose quartz, it's really massive when you pull it out of the ground. So for there to be a piece like this that has, you can see individual crystals, that's super, super rare. So the reason I chose this piece was its color, the location where it was originally found, and also that this is kind of a rare piece and we can learn a lot about it. Also, rose or quartz is about a 7 on the Mohs scale. Rose quartz is related to amethyst, citrine, and ametrine. Another really neat thing about this is rose quartz is also a very popular character in Steven Universe. And as you know, us gem nerds here at JTV, we also love Steven Universe. And we've done quite a few episodes, which I hope you all have checked out. And if not, we'll pop up those links for you to watch after this video. All right, the last but certainly not least favorite piece in this series, this is called COBALTOAN dolomite. And what's really interesting about this piece is not only is it rare, Per Elizabeth, but it's also colored by cobalt, which is super cool because so is this pick. They're both colored by cobalt, and I think they both have a really interesting hue. I love how bright this is, but I also love how this piece almost looks metallic. Dolomite is a type of calcite, as is rhodochrosite. And if you remember, we were actually in a rhodochrosite mine a few months ago in Colorado, and there's plenty of videos there as well for you to watch. But the chemical composition for this is CaMgCO with carbon and oxygen. So that is calcium, magnesium, cobalt, carbon, and 3 molecules of oxygen. And I'm gonna be really proud of myself if I remembered all that. So dolomite is very similar to limestone. They kind of have a similar range of color. They're a similar hardness. They're both soluble in hydrochloric acid, I believe. All right, another really neat thing about dolomite that I learned is that dolomite and limestone are both kind of crushed up and cut, and they're used in construction. And they also are used to neutralize acids. So not only do we have a piece on this channel that's interesting to learn about, but also it has a use outside of the gem business and outside of the mineral business as well. So the only one of these you probably see in jewelry is maybe the rose quartz. I can't imagine why anyone would want to cut this up. I mean, maybe you could set this with wire wrapping, but I think a lot of these pieces are just meant to be enjoyed as they are, and they're meant to be appreciated for being rare or super valuable or very interesting and or beautiful. Now I have to pick one to show you for the closer look. And while I love the bright pink, the clear winner is by far the agatized fossil coral. I love the druzy. I love the different colors, and I love how you can see the different patterns. But what I think is also super cool is that these are literally from the same piece. I mean, it is a perfectly matching half. And I think that is so cool how on the outside, it just looks like it looks like coral, and that is neat in and of itself. But I just think it's so cool how when you slice it open, you really never know what is underneath. And that is one of the things I love about gemology. You truly never know what's lurking below the surface. So I'm gonna go put these back and maybe start looking for the next episode of Natalie's Picks. And I hope that you all will comment below and let us know what you enjoyed about today's episode. Do you like stones that are bright? Do you like stones that are rare? Or do you like things that are just plain cool like that coral? Comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. And leave me your favorite emoji if you like this episode and you would like to see this continue on into a series. Thank you for watching.